Hi, I'm Mary Foley.
And I'm Shannon Loy.
And we are two crazy cycling biker chicks.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly. And we want to inspire you to be crazy with us too. So today we want to share with you how and why to do a century ride. That's a 100-mile bike ride, which is crazy.
It is totally crazy.
It totally sounded crazy to us. But you know, when we decided to do it, we looked for videos to help us as middle-aged women to train. Couldn't find one. So you know what? We decided to make one for you.
So you're probably asking, like, why?
Yeah.
Why do we even try this 100-mile thing, right? Well, you know, it's really about goals for me. I mean, like, because I really wanted to set a goal and I wanted to obtain it. I'm a middle-aged woman. I wanted to push my limits, and for me, I wanted to see how far I could make those limits work, right? So how about your why, Mary?
Mine was really similar. I mean, truth be told, we had already done 50 miles, which felt like a lot. But then to think, can we double that? Oh my gosh, that felt out of reach. And because of that, I said, that's exactly why I needed to do it. I wanted to prove myself, particularly at this age, that there are no boundaries. I can do it. So I will say though, it's a lot more fun to do together.
Absolutely. In fact, I know it would be really tough for me to finish the 100 miles without having my buddy here, Mary, because we're really accountability partners for one another. You know, you'll have those weekends where it's tough. It's tough to get up, especially when it's like, what, 20 degrees outside?
Yep.
Okay. But having somebody to help you, ride with you, is huge.
And you know, you cheer each other on, and before you know it, even at 20-degree weather, okay, 25, it becomes fun. So that is a huge reason to get a buddy.
Even when your toes are freezing.
Okay, so you got this goal? Well, a goal is just a dream with a deadline. You've got to figure out when, and really a great idea is to pick an event where it's happening. We in fact did this one. This is called the Cap to Cap by the Virginia Capitol Trail here and we went from Richmond, Virginia to Jamestown and back. Oh my gosh, right. But what was another great thing about the trail?
Well, you know, the trail's flat. The terrain is flat.
For the most part.
There's a couple little rolling hills in there, but for the most part, it's a pretty easy ride, right?
Yeah.
And it's paved, it's safe, there's no cars that we have to worry about, right? And then when we did this ride, the whole point was they have pit stops.
We all need bathroom stops. We want to have that security, knowing every middle-aged woman does, and you know it. But that's a good thing too, but also there was water, there's people cheering you on. I mean, it just made it more fun to do it by an event. The main thing is though, first time you do a century ride, don't pick the Rockies and go all uphill.
Amen, sister.
Got it. Okay, so the #1 question I get from every woman when she hears that we've done a 100-mile century ride is, oh my gosh, what about your butt? And I'm just gonna tell you right now, you have got to get the padded pants. It is just non-negotiable.
It is totally non-negotiable.
It's a safety thing if nothing else. But seriously, it does take some getting used to with your butt. But it's possible, and it's definitely worth it. The other thing you need is you gotta have a helmet, and we highly recommend that you have some gloves because it's the padding on the gloves that is gonna be really helpful as you ride, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what at minimum you need to wear. Now you can get fancier with a really great shirt, you know, and some what they're called clipless biking shoes. All that is optional, and we did over time.
Yes.
But that's absolutely what you need to get started.
So you're probably riding 5, 10, 15, 20 plus miles, you know, good for you, right? But how do you actually get to 100 miles? Okay, well, the whole process essentially is you need to do it incrementally. Do it in 5-mile increments. So if you start with 20 miles, do 25, then 30 and 35. get yourself to at least 50 miles and feel pretty comfortable about it, right? And then at that point, you just keep riding, you keep layering it on, right, Mary?
Exactly. And what we did is we did it every weekend. And then when the miles got higher, we also tried to get in a shorter ride during the week. But it's the consistency that really pays off. And your goal is to get 75 to 80 miles. If you can do 75 to 80 miles, you can do 100.
Yes.
But guaranteed, as you're getting up there, you're gonna get a moment where it's a hard ride and you want to quit, right?
But don't.
Don't, exactly, which is why you have your buddy to cheer you on. But what we did, when we hit that, we said, we're gonna take a week off and then we'll come back, and it worked.
Yep. All right, so 100 miles, you gotta eat, right? I mean, so I want to address that a little bit. And you know, the thing about biking is I like to bike because, I mean, it gives you an excuse to eat, right? I mean, so the best thing ever is lots of snacks.
Yeah, I love the snacks.
So what are those snacks, right? That's what we want to cover. So very first thing though is that you've got to hydrate. You've got to hydrate often. Our goal when we were riding was at least every 10 miles to every hour, complete an entire bottle of water. And as you ride further, you're gonna wanna add in some electrolyte supplements as well, okay? Now, the other one is these little sneaky snacks, right? Okay, these things are great because they're small, they're compact, you can fit them in your bag. They're also packed with caffeine, sugar, the things that you need to give you a little bit more boost to get going, essentially, okay? So you wanna bring a bunch of these with you so you have them on hand. Now, besides that though, you need to eat other stuff, like real food, right, Mary?
Yeah, and particularly the more miles you do. What we found is that if you can't just survive on these because you'll just want to throw up, okay, basically.
Yeah, nobody wants to throw up.
No, I don't want to do that. So add in like bananas and apples, and I love my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
For me, sunflower sandwiches, sunflower butter.
Okay, there you go. Ham and cheese. You actually want to bring some real food, and that truly will keep you going and enable you to do the higher mileage. So how did we feel when we got done with our century ride? Well, picture this. We are within several hundred yards of our final destination, and Shannon and I are singing, "We are the champions, my friend." Boom, boom, boom. Okay. It was just bouncing off of the buildings near us, and we were exhausted.
But so excited.
We were so satisfied and so proud, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you know, and I will tell you, 100 miles, we had to pace ourselves.
Yep.
But pacing yourselves makes it so much easier to get to the finish line. And darn it, I would say that last 20 to 30 miles was pretty tough.
Right.
It was not easy, okay?
That's true.
You know?
And a lot of people ask us, well, how long did it really take?
Yeah.
How long, Shannon?
It took about 12 hours.
Yep.
And really, that was, our average pace was like 12 to 14 miles per hour, but with 10-minute stops here and there,
A lunch break.
pee stops, you know, all that stuff. Yeah, it adds up to be about 12 hours, so.
But we always remembered, it was a ride, not a race.
And here's a point. The last 10 miles, disco. Oh yeah.
so
and
helps.
then follow up with, "We are the champions, my friends."
All spontaneous. We think it's hilarious. Okay, but I don't know if they will, but you know. I think we should just keep that.
Professionals.
We're having fun. We're having fun.
We love the bike. Yay! Sorry.
Just smiling.
It's really great knowing that my ass is going to be on this camera.